Buttoning up the neck of her coat, she stepped out of the warm building into the cold night air. People bustled by, laden down with bags from their late-night shopping, or gathering in the coffee and wine bars that dotted the street. It was almost cold enough for snow, Saffy thought, as she thrust her hands into her pockets, wishing she'd remembered to wear her gloves this morning. She hoped it did snow. Everywhere looked so gorgeous, all twinkly and white, really Christmassy. Colourful fairy lights twinkled overhead, illuminating the street in a multicoloured glow, and a huge decorated tree shimmered and sparkled in the square. Saffy smiled and quickened her step. She loved Christmas. The decorations, the tree, the lights, the carols booming out in the shops, the drinks with friends, and most of all, the parties. Her diary was full of nights out planned for the following Christmas week, and she wasn't back at work until 2nd of January, thanks to being owed 2 days' holiday. The rest of the office didn't finish until lunchtime on Friday. AJ had given everyone Christmas Eve off. Life was good. She turned the corner and hurried towards the sparkly lights of Perry's. Meg was already there, sitting at a table by the window, a glass of white wine in front of her. She stood up and waved as Saffy walked in. Saffy waved back, went to the bar, got herself a glass of rosé, she always found white wine too heavy, and made her way over to Meg. "Sorry, I had some work to finish," she said as she sat down. "No Robbie yet?" "No worries. I've only been here a few mins. We had a meeting after work." Meg's short blonde hair was still immaculately in place, as was her makeup. As manageress of a well-known beauty counter at the high street store, she knew all the tricks of the trade. Saffy, Meg and Robbie had attended the same high school, and now all worked in Birmingham city centre, so often met up after work. They all travelled to work by train, which meant they could chat over a few drinks without having to bother about getting a taxi home. Meg looked over Saffy's shoulder towards the door. "Here's Robbie now. He looks a bit excited." Saffy turned and saw Robbie heading towards them, fair hair sticking up like a hedgehog, tartan scarf flung over his shoulder, black coat half buttoned up. "I've got something to tell you," he said, as he pulled out a chair and perched on the edge of it. "But first you've got to promise not to breathe a word." He smoothed his hair down with his hands, which he then folded in his lap, obviously bursting with excitement. Saffy and Meg exchanged amused glances and said together, "We promise." Robbie leaned forward. "I'm going to propose to Duncan on Christmas morning," he announced dramatically. Saffy beamed. Robbie and Duncan had been together 4 years now, and although totally different to each other, Robbie, a publicist, was like an excitable puppy, while Duncan, an accountant, was calm and unruffled. They made a perfect pair. "I'm so pleased. You two are made for each other." She leaned over and kissed Robbie on the cheek. "Congratulations." "Duncan hasn't accepted yet," he pointed out. "He will. He's mad about you." Meg clapped her hands and squealed in delight. "Oh, this is so gorgeously romantic. We could have a double wedding." Meg and her partner Stefan had got engaged in the summer. "What a shame you aren't with someone, Saffy. We could make it a triple wedding." Saffy gave a mock shudder. "Listen, it's fantastic that you guys are getting your happy ever after. Meg's right. Of course Duncan will say yes, Robbie. But even if I was dating the sexiest guy on the planet, I wouldn't be getting married anytime soon. There's too much I want to do with my life." "She hasn't got time for romance. She's planning on taking over the company," Meg whispered, leaning forward conspiratorially. "Knowing her, she'll succeed too," Robbie whispered back. "I reckon our Saffy can do anything she puts her mind to." Saffy grinned at them. "Never mind changing the subject to me and my career. I want to hear all about your proposal plans. When are you going to do it? Have you thought about what you're going to say?" "And have you bought the ring yet?" Meg added. "Stefan proposed to me with a Haribo jelly ring because he wanted us to choose the ring together. I've still got the jelly ring," she added. "It's in my memory box." Meg was such a romantic. She kept everything from their dates, cinema tickets, restaurant bills, the lot. "That's just it. What do I do about the ring?" Robbie asked them. "It doesn't seem right to propose without one. I want to swoop the ring out of my pocket and put it